get it started now. It's different.
Hey.
And we're live. Hello,
Hey.
everyone. You missed us? That's right. We're back in action yet again.
Yep.
After a month of 2 months of a hiatus, we're finally giving you the stream. Now, This time it's going to be a little bit different this time because instead of doing 1 month, we're going to actually combine 2 months, both February and March together, because we have a lot to talk about, like 20 plus movies.
I didn't really see much movies because I've been pretty busy with real life stuff.
Yeah. But I figured, hey, it'd be fun at least. So let's wait until everyone gets here.
Yeah,
or at least the ones who are. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just wait.
February and March were painful.
Yeah, the only movie I saw in March was Mickey 17. Though.
Oh yeah, I couldn't be able to get around to it, unfortunately.
It's all right.
Although I heard that the film has a. Yeah, but
plus my spring break was a bit wonky.
Hello.
Hey, Rex.
Hello, Dinosaur Man.
Nice, good one.
Yeah.
Funny that you.
So, yeah, we're gonna do our usual stuff, our collection minutes, as well as the treasures, and of course, before we get to movie reviews themselves, we will do a bit of our most and least anticipated movies coming this summer. Before we get to the reviews.
Okay, I got a few.
Here's something I have exciting to showcase. I mean, that can be like part of like the collection minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm just looking at like stuff that I watched previously, films. Okay, yeah. Hold on a sec. I was watching Double Toasted's bad movie roast of Craven the Hunter.
Oh, I need to get back to watching that.
That like.
Our good friend Crave.
What's up?
Hey, guys.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and show off what I did get from the past couple months.
Hello. All right.
I'm going to go ahead and start. Okay. Let me turn on my lamp. Let me turn on the light first.
Start us off, Johnny.
All right. Here are the DVDs that I got. Here comes Peter Cottontail.
Nice.
That's nice.
And Bluey seasons 1 through 3.
Nice.
I got seasons 1 and 2.
Yep.
I plan to binge the entire show.
And I did get 2 Blu-ray copies of Despot. This is the single disc director's cut. I got this from Amazon. And this is the 2-disc collector's set, which I got from eBay.
Nice. All right, so it kind of reminds me of that American Dad episode where Snot and Sneeze try to watch Das Boot without Klaus explaining the story about.
All right, on to the 4Ks. Gladiator 2.
Nice.
A Complete Unknown.
I need to watch that.
This is one of the
Timothy
4Ks
Chalamet.
that I got from. I got this from Amazon today. The Brutalist.
Nice.
I also got this from Amazon today as well.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite film of last year, Nosferatu.
Yes.
Nice. Funny
Take
that you
note,
mentioned
Disney. This is how you do a
Nosferatu,
remake.
Nice.
because here's what I got too. Hold on. See, I got a new setup. I got it on Blu-ray too.
Awesome.
Yep. I'm getting used. Sorry, I'm getting used to this setup. I got a new setup because this is another thing. Hold on, let me see. Preset. Share image file. Let's see. Give it a moment. Here it is. And it's loading. Oh, okay. Wait, let me. Where? Sorry, I'm. Preset. Share screen. Okay, let's see. When I'm. Yeah. Hold on. Sorry. There's this stuff. Okay. I got this new setup with my computer here. I'll just show a picture of it I took on my phone. Sorry, there was all this stuff. I got a new computer.
Yeah. In the
See?
meantime,
Okay, I found it. Anyway, this is my new. Oh wait, I remembered. I have it on DeviantArt. So I showed a picture on DeviantArt, so then I can share with you. Okay, settings, preset, share screen. My new setup.
nice.
Oh yeah, I saw. Oh yeah.
Now I have
Nice.
2 Macs.
Nice.
And like now I can I'm having it so like one will act as an extended monitor.
All right.
Nice.
So is that what you have more?
Yep, that was it.
Okay. I guess I'll show what I got recently. First off, ever heard of a game Snakes and Serpent and Escalators?
Oh, eels and escalators? Oh, snakes and ladders. Nice.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Escalators. Eels.
Eels. That SpongeBob episode will always be hilarious.
No.
Yeah.
And another thing I got is this Toy Story 4 book, Essential Guide.
Nice.
Toy Story ended with this one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. As we all say, there is no Tooth Fairy, there is no Easter Bunny, and there is no Toy Story 4.
I thought there was
Right.
And there's no
Bugs
Lightyear
today.
either. So yeah. Anyone else?
I'll go next. Last time I showed you that Legend of Zelda Lego set.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably well. Give me a minute. Hang on.
And also,
Nice.
hang on. Cool.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's about it.
Right, hang on. Looky here.
Oh,
A movie ticket.
Oh,
We're gonna talk
Snow
about
White.
that. We're gonna talk
Oh,
about it
boy.
later, aren't we?
I
Yep,
looked up online.
I saw it. I saw it at my theater last week.
God.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
we'll get to that one. We'll get to that when we get to it.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. So is that it for what we have?
All
right.
right.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and get Pickle Treasure started.
Go ahead.
Let me go get
All right.
something first.
Pickle Treasures, and then Crackhead, and then of course the most and least anticipated of 2025 summer.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
remember that.
All right. I'm gonna start with my pickle first.
Go ahead.
All right. Let's do this. My pickle of the show is Disaster Movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
I hate the Stelterberg duo so much.
So do I.
This movie was so bad that it changed the original spill rating that later became double toasted. Originally, the lowest rating was some old bullshit. The new rating was a fuck you.
And by the way,
man.
and by the way, to a certain fan of trolls out there, no, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is nothing like the Seltzerberg movies.
That guy's an idiot and a groomer.
And it wasn't Red Foreman, he's a dumbass.
Yep.
What a dumbass. He said it, Brian.
All right.
Groomer.
The acting is terrible.
Yeah,
None of the actors were invested in the roles and were more focused on their paychecks.
Oh, of course they were.
Mm-hmm.
The director, like Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer, is terrible. They cannot
Like
direct.
always.
They cannot make movies for shit. Nor can they even write screenplays.
Hell, they make Ross Johnson now look like Martin Scorsese.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The humor is
I
just disgusting.
Not to
What's
mention,
up, Rob?
Right,
The
dude?
humor is disgusting too.
I recommend that one video made by Mementos.
Mhm.
That was a good video on the history of that movie.
mm-hmm.
They parodied Juno. They parodied the Hulk. They parodied Alvin and the Chipmunks.
And
They
there's
parody Hellboy. They parody Iron Man.
and no disaster movies.
And they parody Enchanted, which Enchanted is already a spoof. You don't spoof a spoof.
Exactly.
Yes.
How stupid were they when they made this movie?
I know.
I have no idea.
No wonder this movie has a 1% of Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
It was actually at
Yes.
it was actually at 0 beforehand.
Just like Leprechaun Origins.
Yeah, exactly, Ghost Gal. How do you live in a world where disaster movies didn't the worst rated movie in IMDb?
Well,
You know what is the worst rated movie on IMDb? We'll get to
Snow
that.
White remake.
it's mostly for fruit bombing. For the most
Right,
part.
that's a problem. I just
Yeah.
stick to Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good job, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The pacing is also dreadful too. I don't know how long this movie was, but I don't care. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore.
Yes,
Disaster
let's move
movie
on.
is my pickle of the show. Fuck this movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now for my treasure.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Well, Casmom's such a big, stupid, fucking fat bitch.
Yeah, one of the greatest songs in history. I always
Yeah.
listen to that every time.
That's right, folks. My treasure of the show is South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
That was what she said.
Hello. Hello, Purple Sacramento V.
Hey, dude.
I gotta go, guys.
See you later, Sean.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean.
See you, Sean.
Yeah, this is one of the greatest animated films ever made. Obviously. The animation is really good considering the animation is really good considering the fact that this movie came out in 1999.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it came out during the show's, I believe, 3rd season.
Mm-hmm.
The humor is excellent because the humor is excellent. The humor retains the exact same. This movie has This has the exact same humor as the show. If you watch the show, you'll definitely like this movie. Or if you do like the show, you'll definitely like this one.
Of course, they also gave us Team America World Police, which was pretty
Matt
funny.
Stone and Trey Parker are definitely geniuses back in the day.
Yep.
Unlike Seth MacFarlane.
Yep. Hold on.
Blood Canada.
Blame Canada.
As a Canadian, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Because you're all okay with it because it's South Park, right?
Yeah,
Right.
Unlike the King of the Hill
Heck,
episode.
Chris Hansen was okay with when the South Park made fun of him. And of course, when the Boondocks made fun of him, when the Booty Warrior had his way with him.
I have not gotten that episode yet, but I know about the meme.
Yep. I'll tell you, I like ya, and I want ya. Now we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours. Don't make me ruin that butt! I'm a warrior!
Anyway, the voice acting is really good too. Trey Parker and Matt Stone do excellent jobs in their roles.
R.I.P. Isaac Hayes, by the way.
Yeah. It also has excellent pacing too. And how can we not forget that one song in the opening?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Eric
one.
and Philip master the world of crass humor.
I saw someone from an Arab background describe Team America World Police as one of the best defensive movies.
Yeah. This movie is actually a lot more relevant today because given the movie's topic about censorship.
Right.
Yeah. Nowadays you can't do it nowadays.
Yeah.
This is not the movie that would be made today.
This is probably my second favorite film of 1999. So yeah, South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut, is my treasure of the show. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, well done.
Yep, and now it's time for my addition to the podcast, Crackhead Comment of the Day, where I get to showcase one of the worst comments or takes on something we can all laugh at. So what I have in store is, do you know the topic of what racism is?
Yes.
Well, here's something that will surely. Let's see. Let's read it. Welcome to Disney TV animation. We got Brown Girl Has Fantastical Adventures, Brown Girl Has Fantastical Adventures, Brown Girl Has Fantastical Adventures, and Brown Girl Has Fantastical Adventures.
Say you are racist without saying you are racist.
And also,
Exactly.
Oh god, there's all the variety. Like
What the fuck?
Molly Biki is half Scottish and half Thai. She's not Hispanic. Buzz is Hispanic. Bruce is Hispanic.
Exactly. Let's cherry picking at its finest. Do I need to spell? This is like I thought Escape on cartoon reboots mainly failed at Parents' New Wish reeked of racism, but holy crap, this tweet says it all, doesn't it? It was actually presented by one of my Ghost Star Gal's girlfriend, who showed it on Discord, and I had to show this one to show that people can be stupid and racist.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do it like, and now it's time for the topic of. Now it's time for what we call our most and least anticipated movies coming this summer, because now it's April. So let's start with our least anticipated movies first, because, let's start with our most. Ethan, where do you want to start?
All right. I'm going to start with my least. All right.
All right.
I do have a couple. Number 3, the Naked Gun reboot.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but it has.
Why are we getting this?
Because remakes are popular nowadays.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 2 is another remake. The live-action How to Train Your Dragon.
Ugh.
And number 1, my least anticipated film of the entire summer, is Smurfs.
Yep.
Yeah.
James
yeah,
Corden playing influencer Smurf.
He's not
Influencer
playing.
Smurf.
Please
Yes,
be
I
sure to
don't
hit that
know.
subscribe button. Oh, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Oh, give me a fucking break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Ghost Virgo, thank you for pointing this out. Yeah, exactly. All right. So for my least anticipated movies, I only have 2 dishonorable mentions. The first of it is Shelby Oaks, which is only really on here because of my mixed thoughts on Chris Stuckman in general. And no, I'm not listening to anything that had that fucking hack said about him. You know who we're talking about.
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Yeah.
other one is Mathregan 2.0 because honestly, I'm just more skeptical about that movie. Because the first 2 movies, my top 5 least anticipated movies, are the ones I'm pretty skeptical about. But I still do want to give them a chance. So, I'll say
Right.
that much. My number
Mhm.
5 is Smurfs. It
Oh
disappointed me
my
both because
god.
Ugh.
I was disappointed in that trailer, given that how much I'm a fan of this
That
franchise.
trailer
But,
was fucking god-awful.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but the only reason I'm willing to give it a chance is because I could see this movie coming out what happened with Transformers 1, where a good movie was just done dirty by a bad trailer. So who knows? Maybe it might be
Right.
saved.
Mhm.
And we all know what happened with that movie.
Right. It
Yeah,
bombed.
My
bad
number
marketing.
My number 4 is Jurassic World Rebirth. Regardless of
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
whether or
Respected.
yeah,
Go
but
on.
the problem is, after the disappointment that was Dominion, I was pretty much just exhausted with this franchise. But who knows? Maybe it could be good.
Yeah, same.
Dominion
now these
is like
next
when
three-
a band says they're going on a farewell tour, only to come out of retirement when the band should have called it a day.
Yeah, that's the big problem here, considering that it takes place after Dominion. So, and
No, I
now
should
these
know.
next 3.
There are bands that
And
went
now-
on farewell tours but came out of retirement, but it was justified because they're in good condition and actually have good new material. But with every one of those bands, we get a Kiss and Motley Crue, which should have called it a day a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now the next 3 I'm just not looking forward to altogether because my number 3 is Happy Gilmore 2.
Hey,
Who was asking for a sequel to this?
What's the point?
Yeah, exactly. The first film ended on the note that it should have ended, and it's actually one of Adam Sandler's best comedy. Why make a sequel to it?
It seems
Right. And now these next 2 and 1, are pretty interchangeable. Number 2 is How to Train Your Dragon live action remake. So,
Right.
like DreamWorks, why are you becoming the very thing you swore to destroy?
It's a bit like it wasn't Shrek.
And finally, my number 1 should not shock you, but it's Lilo and Stitch live action remake. It's a
I hear
Disney
you.
live action remake. What did you expect? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone
Right.
else?
I have some anticipated. Let me
Same.
just check this date.
All right, I'll go ahead and go.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I do have a couple honorable mentions, but there are some I do have a couple honorable mentions. And they are, one of them's going to shock you. Jurassic World Rebirth.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Universal, please don't screw this up.
Gareth Edwards, David Kep, don't let us down.
And the other one, Thunderbolts. All right.
Okay.
I do have, I believe, 4. All right. No. My number 5 is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Okay.
Yeah, folks, as you can tell, I'm really looking forward to this movie. Actually, it's number 6. So yeah, Thunderbolts is my number 6. I'm not going to talk very much about this movie, but yeah. Number 5 is 28. My number 5 is 28 years later.
Oh yeah, I saw the trailer for that.
Mhm.
I'm so excited for this movie. The fact that Danny Boyle's returning to direct makes me even more excited.
Nice.
My number 4. Sorry. My number 4. Oh shit.
Take your time.
Sorry.
Take your time.
Yeah, I can buy that. Yeah. At least someone agrees with Thunderbolts actually has promise. And
Yeah,
of course,
yeah. I actually like.
I don't blame you, Mr. Tobian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see why people are burnt out on the Jurassic World franchise. But anyway, my number 4 is the Fantastic Four or the
Same.
First Steps.
Same.
I'm really looking forward to this movie. And I pray to God that they don't screw this up like they did with 2015's Fant Four Stick.
Oh god, I want my money back from that.
Fuck that movie.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Fuck that piece of shit movie.
And poor Miles Teller. Ellie.
And Michael B. Jordan.
Thankfully, he got to pull a Chris Evans.
Yes. I can't wait for him to see.
Yeah, there's a film with that guy
Same.
that I will be bringing up on the list.
All right. My number 3 is Superman.
Yes. It's been 10 years since we've seen a Superman.
Yes. Yeah. Superman. I am looking forward to this movie. I am so looking forward to what James Gunn has in store for us. David Cornswet looks fantastic as Superman.
Yeah. And to any Snyderverse fans out there,
The Snyderverse is
That
dead.
it's dead.
DEAD. Dead.
Even Zack Snyder has moved on from that.
Yes. Hey, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
Did I miss anything?
Oh, not
Or-
much. We
Not much.
we're going over the anticipated movies and least anticipated.
All right. My number 2 is Karate Kid Legends.
Yeah, I have to go.
I need to revisit that franchise.
I just watched the first one. That's it.
I'm just
only
glad
watched
we're
the
getting
first
another
one.
Karate Kid movie after so long.
Yeah.
And my number 1 is F1.
In Joseph Kosinski, we trust.
Yep. That's right.
All right. All
And
right,
now for my
list. Oh, how about you go first?
I-
Go ahead.
for my list, I have some honorable mentions. They are Bring Her Back, Clown in a Cornfield, Hurry Up Tomorrow because I'm a Weekend fan, Karate Kid Legends, The Life of Chuck, 28 years later because I need to watch the first 2 movies beforehand, and of course the last one is Thunderbolt.
We're
And now from the top 10, my number 10 is Materialists. Because, it's from the director of Past Lives, and it has quite the trio. It's with Steve Rogers, aka Captain America, Mr. Fantastic, and Madam Web in a love triangle. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in this one a lot more than most people are willing to. My number 9 is The Toxic Avenger, because after seeing the rave at Fantastic Fest, I am so glad that this movie is finally coming out after 2 years of delay.
I actually had the original.
Me
Blu-ray.
too.
My number 8 is Nobody 2.
I completely forgot about the Toxic Avenger.
Yep.
Same. I forgot about the 2.
Yeah. My number 8 is Nobody 2. I really like the first one movie, so I'm hoping the sequel delivers more of what I loved about the first film.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
My number 7 is Elio. Please, Pixar, let's Pixar cook with this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I hope that it's way better than that god awful overrated Turning Red movie.
Opinion respected.
That's fine.
Yeah. Number 6 is F1 because in Joseph Kosinski, as I said, in Joseph Kosinski we trust.
Mm-hmm.
5 is the Fantastic Four: First Steps.
Yes.
Don't screw this one up like you did with that god awful Fan Four Stick movie.
We don't talk about that film ever.
I blame that film
Number-
for having like the trend of sequels, like mixed in with the number of it, like Expendables.
We don't talk about that film either.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Right,
fuck
my
Dog
number-
Trank.
Yeah. And number 4 is From the World of John Wick presents Ballerina.
I forgot about that one as well.
Shit, I want you to
Yeah.
go too.
Yeah. I really hope that aside from John Wick 5, which I'm just flat out have some red flags, I really hope we see more of the John Wick universe and its side characters. And I hope that this one carries a lot of it.
I want a Kane spin-off now.
At number 3 is
Sorry.
The Bad Guys 2.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
Number
that.
3 is
Yes.
Still think it was the first one though.
Like, I couldn't wait anymore for this if I tried. Here, we're finally getting the proper sequel we deserve.
Yeah.
Let's hope
Who
that
needs a Shrek 5?
Yeah, let's hope that this movie shows that DreamWorks are still capable of making good sequels to their originals.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2 is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. If this really is the last time we ever see Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt,
I doubt
it's
it.
going to be a wild ride. You will be missed as this character, as Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise. Thank you for 29 years.
I still need to watch the first 3.
Yeah, and finally, my number 1 is James Gunn's Superman. Warner
Mhm.
Bros., please don't screw this up.
Yeah, don't.
Right. All right. Oh, Wildwood. Right. Hold on a sec. Let me adjust that.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm figuring out this list. Sorry. Let's see.
it's all right.
Wood. And what else? Oh, okay. So, my list. F1. I mean, all the hype. Then Elio or that Pixar movie. Please, Pixar, don't screw it up. Ballerina, number 8. I mean, the John Wick franchise has yet to disappoint me. Though I'm not in favor of a 5 because he died in the 4th film.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Number 7, Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Please, Warner Brothers, let James Gunn cook.
Mhm.
Number 6, Jurassic World Rebirth. I understand the concerns. Yes, I do. I had my concerns as well. But I've been liking what I've been hearing. Like, it's going back to the horror roots. And it's bringing a scene to life that they were going to do it for the first movie, but it never happened. Now it's going to finally happen. The Rex River raft scene where the Rex swam after them as they were trying to escape in a raft. I'm reviewing all the 6 previous Jurassic movies in prep. Number 5, Bad Guys 2. This is a DreamWorks sequel I actually want. We don't need a Shrek 5. Wildwood, Laika is a great animation studio, so I'm looking forward to it.
I'd put it on the list if we knew what release date this was going to have.
Right. Not right if it is going to be released that. Number 3, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Mhm.
I've been liking what I'm seeing so far. Number 2, 28 Years Later, though I am kind of bummed we're skipping to years when there should be 28 months later first. But whatever. And number 1, Predator: Killer of Killers.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that film.
Yeah. It's
An
looks
animated
awesome.
Predator movie from the director of Prey.
Yeah,
Yes.
it looks awesome. And it's in Spider-Verse animation style.
Well, but
It looks awesome.
Wow, it's
Yeah.
hard to believe that
20th century is still willing to do animated movies after the tragic death of Blue Sky.
Yep.
All right.
Mhm.
What if Tom Cruise was in Trolls 4? He'd be the best thing in that franchise.
Right. Of course,
Oh,
the
shit.
Trolls movies are going to be a bit more awkward to watch with Russell Brand and him finally getting arrested.
Thank
Galen the
God.
Greek is now cursed.
All right.
Mhm.
What did
And
Russell
now-
Brand do?
And now,
Well, he was a predator, to put it bluntly,
Hmm.
and that's as far as I'm going.
all right. And now we have reached the point where it's time to do the reviews. Let's get started.
Oh boy! All right.
Ethan, you get to have these choices. All right.
I am going to go ahead and get the Snow White remake out of the way.
Oh boy. This is where we start.
Boy.
Oh boy.
Thank
Folks,
God I never saw it.
Me neither.
Me
I saw
neither.
this
The
movie
plot summary.
last week. And yes, folks, I am seeing a Minecraft movie on Saturday.
I'll wait till it comes on VOD.
I went to go see the day the Earth blew up instead.
I still need to
Same.
see
Thank
it.
I went
you.
to Ash.
I still
Anyway,
need to see it.
here's the ticket. Here's my ticket.
You poor unfortunate.
Oh, you go to
bastard.
Cinemark?
Yes, I do.
It's nice. Same here, man.
I used to go to Mark. Mainly it was a dollar theater.
But yeah, folks, this is my ticket for Snow White.
Rip
Thanks
it
a
apart.
lot,
bastard.
Peter Dinklage.
In fact, I'm going to go get something. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All
hang on a
right.
second.
Yeah, he's gonna rip it apart.
Yeah, I agree. FYI,
Yeah.
Gal Gadot
Yes,
deserves way more
yes.
hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at least Rachel Ziegler has talent.
Yes.
Gal Gadot can act if her life depended on it.
Tommy Wiseau is better than Gail Gadot.
Tommy
I'm gonna
Wiseau
do to the
can at
ticket.
least. Tommy
I'm
Oh,
going to
Wiseau
cut
can
the
boy.
ticket.
Tommy Wiseau can at least be laughable.
Yes.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah. I refuse to
And
watch this movie, and if I ever watched it, I went insane.
Let's see. If I watch it, I set myself on fire.
It will be it's a future. I'm not watching that mentions for my worst list.
This
is
movie
no-
is
There is no
this
Easter Bunny. There is no Tooth Fairy. There is no Snow White remake.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This
As you can
movie
see, I cut up a ticket with
Mhm.
scissors.
Yep. Yep.
this
And there is no CGI dwarves too.
yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my God!
By the
I
way,
will talk about that.
if I could say something about this movie real quick, this movie is the animation equivalent of Disney looking back at its grandfather and basically spitting in its face saying, "You're too old. We can do this way more cooler than you could ever do."
All right. Time for a rant.
Oh boy.
The story
Ter-
is unoriginal because it is a copy and paste from the original animated 1937 classic, which is infinitely better.
Yes.
I watched it. I stayed home and watched that instead of the remake.
I stayed home and played Batman Arkham City.
The screenplay is atrocious. This is, without a doubt, the worst screenplay of the year. The dialogue is atrocious. And the acting is terrible, especially from Rachel Zegler.
Although I'll give her this, she was able to at least sing. That's more than we can say for her co-star in question.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot
Ugh.
is
Hello,
fucking...
no.
Gal Gadot as the evil queen is terrible. And her singing
always.
is terrible.
As always.
Who gave Gail Gadot as villain song, and why aren't they fired?
The visual effects are... The CGI and visual effects are atrocious. It has the worst CGI and visual effects I've seen this year.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Especially with the dwarves. In fact, let me pull up an image of the dwarves.
Spoiler: Dopey talks. Yes.
Why didn't they just hire midgets in order to act as
All right,
the dwarves?
pay attention to these dwarves.
Oh God!
Kill them with
What is-
fire.
Oh, hideous.
Seriously,
the
no. I'd rather
What
look
are
at.
these?
Why
Yeah,
so
like,
many,
literally,
I don't
I'd rather look
know.
at. Yeah,
My
I'd rather look at
eyes.
this- Like seriously,
My
I would rather look
eyes.
at. Excuse me,
Throw
but
these
I would.
guys at Jackass.
Yeah, and
a lot of people in the village, you
I'm gonna
bastard.
say right now, I'd rather look at this. I'd rather watch the live action Smurfs movies over looking at these abominations in anything in Snow White. I'm dead serious about that claim.
I'd rather watch.
Yeah.
Anna
Remember,
3 again.
kids, do not do drugs.
Look
By
at
the
these
way,
dwarves. I'm gonna have to say the most hideous looking is Dopey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
He just
like,
has these
Uh,
puffy eyes.
He looks like
John,
Alfred
These
Newman.
dwarves are fucking terrifying.
Yes.
by the way, to quote SpongeBob real quick, my eyes, the pain.
Remember,
Also-
kids, don't do drugs.
Also, to answer your question, Sean, why didn't they use midgets? You can blame that fuckhead Peter Dinklage for that.
I bet.
And not
Yeah,
to
and
mention
like-
that.
Other
Not
actors.
to mention that Jackass star Wee Man criticized Disney for not casting people with dwarfism as the dwarves.
I side with
Yeah.
Wee Man.
And
In
like,
fact, have these dwarves in Jackass so we can all see them in pain.
Yes. Yes. You know, never seen where they beat up Dopey? Dopey in the original? Like that.
The cinematography is terrible. The editing is absolutely terrible. The pacing, oh my god. This is the worst pacing of the year. This was 109 minutes, and it felt like 4 hours. 4 hours!
mhm.
The musical score is atrocious, and so are the musical numbers.
And I see like Gal Gadot's villain song. So,
Exactly.
again.
I'd rather listen to Taylor Swift on drugs than Gal Gadot.
Ugh.
I might even take it a step further. I'd rather listen to Kid Rock than listen to Gal Gadot sing again.
I'd rather listen
At least
to
Kid Rock, I can get a laugh out of how bad it is.
I'd rather listen to Russell.
And that he doesn't support a genocide.
I'd rather listen to
Granted,
Russell
Kid
Crowe
Rock
sing.
still has trash views.
And the ending is a complete middle finger.
Yeah, I seen the ending of that. Too.
Yeah, apparently they wanted. Apparently that they didn't want the fact that Snow White to be saved by the prince. Hypocrite much, Disney?
Fuck you,
And here's
Disney!
the sad, yeah,
She
and
got
like,
saved by some guy.
here's the sad thing. A gender swap, I know this is like a Sleeping Beauty, but it still works out.
Oh,
It's-
and this movie was also directed by Mark Webb.
Oh,
I
Mark
feel bad
Webb.
for him at this point.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. He
Dang.
deserves better.
I can't believe.
Yeah,
Sam
he
made
got
that amazing
fucked over
Spider-Man
with
2 Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yes.
And now
Yeah,
he's
but
getting...
anyway, I'm going to get to my overall thoughts. Snow White 2025 is the worst movie I've seen this year so far, and it will probably be my worst film. And it will probably be my number one worst at the end of this year.
And
And
by the
it
way,
indeed gets my very first 0 out of 10 or an F. And this is indeed the very first film this year to receive the Burn in Hell Award certificate.
if I could say something else about this movie real quick, way to respect your history, Disney. I mean, this was the film that literally started the legacy of animated movies, and to remake remake your first movie like this, what would Walt think if he's still alive?
He'd be
would hate it.
Furious, and like he actually made it clear. Like I followed the channel Modern Girls, and like they did this video what is going on with the Snow White remake, and they point out like if he was still around, he'd be furious because like he was always for innovation.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck this movie. Fuck you, Rachel Zegler, and fuck you, Disney.
Oh boy, let me tell you about the scores it got.
Oh boy, I think I have something here.
No. I have an image pulled up.
Yeah, you're probably the only one who's angry at Rachel Zegler. Most of us, she's definitely annoying, but even I'll admit the hate she gets sometimes is way too much.
Plus,
Yeah.
let's give her some credit here. They paused the Tangled remake.
Mhm.
They tried to blame her for the reason why that movie bombed, and look at the hundreds of videos made of her every day.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Meanwhile, they're glossing over the real weak link, Gal Gadot,
Yes.
Yeah.
which, aside from her trash views,
But they give her a pass because she's hot. Pretend I have
and plus, this includes.
Oh wow! Those scores are totally that 1.6 on IMDb and that 6% on Google scores was so well deserved.
Well, to be fair, the 1.6 is mostly review bombing.
By the way, one of the people who takes his hatred towards Rachel Zegler too far is a specific angry culture war pony who said that if he was elected as president, he would allow people to throw apples at Rachel Zegler.
wow.
What an asshole.
Sure, I might have attributed to it, but I do not take my hate too far.
I confess, I called this movie the Disney Flash.
Don't be like the angry culture war pony.
Yeah.
No. I saw the trailer and hated it.
I was like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Then we're talking about the same guy who got angry, who said that you unironically buy a game for the Nintendo Switch 2, which costs $90, that we deserve to go into debt.
Yeah, I'm not buying it, but
all right, I don't want to talk about the Snow White remake anymore. I'm done.
Right, let's move on to something more positive.
All right, my next movie is Captain America: Brave New World.
Still haven't
Let
seen
me get
it
to
yet.
that.
All right.
I did see it though.
Right.
Yeah, folks. I
Yes,
really
he
did
is a bully.
like this movie.
You know what? I better watch this.
By the way,
instead of Snow White remake.
Same here.
By the way, Zaid. Zaid.
Even with a problematic character.
Yeah, I know.
By the way, Zaid, we know that you've been making burner accounts. Way to disrespect your father's wishes.
Mm-hmm.
I have no son.
Yeah,
All right,
folks.
Captain
I
America.
really didn't like this movie. The visual effects were pretty good,
That's surprising.
and the and Harrison Ford's performance was Status Ross was excellent.
Honestly, I'd much rather see him in this than Indiana Jones.
Same here.
Yeah, he was definitely the best thing in this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
I just wish that the movie focused on him more instead. I wish he was the main character because he was actually interesting to watch.
Yeah. And some of the action was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I can't praise anything else. The story was the story is cliched. The screenplay is really weak. The rest of the acting was mediocre at best. Anthony Mackie tries his best, but unfortunately, the weak screenplay really lets him down.
I figured as much. And also the leader.
Oh, the cinematography is good too. Yeah, the pacing is really bad. And the fact that we don't get to see Red Hulk until the very end of the movie, or until the third act, really?
That was a letdown, especially with the way he
What
gets
a letdown!
Though it could be worse. It could be a movie that promised robotic dinosaurs and didn't include them until near the very end.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Transformers 4.
The editing is a scrambled mess.
Fuck you, Michael Bay, for ruining the Dinobots.
And the ending was a complete mess too.
Yeah,
So
I heard about the
overall,
ending.
I did not like Captain America: Brave New World. 4
No,
out
I
of 10
didn't.
or C minus.
I didn't
For
see
me,
it, and that was because it brought back a certain character and with certain events I won't get into. But one thing I'll say this. I do believe that Sam Wilson is Captain America, just like how Miles Morales is Captain America. And if you
Exactly.
say otherwise,
Yeah.
then Terry McGinnis isn't Batman.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
It's a
I'll admit the
mantle.
movie
Next
was.
movie?
Oh, wait! I need to give my thoughts as well because for me, I thought the movie was okay. Like, I guess with all the reshoots and behind the scenes drama, and yeah, it definitely shows. But I definitely expected a lot worse, and I thought the film was average at best. Like, I like Sam Wilson in this movie fine enough. I think, having seen that his own series. But the movie, the pacing is pretty weak, and like I said, Red Hulk was a huge letdown. Overall, not awful, but certainly one of the more forgettable entries in the MCU, and definitely the worst Captain America 6 out of 10. And Go Stargirl comments, all that fit over Sam Wilson over Captain America for an alright movie. Glad for Red Hulk's appearance. I just wish I wish we had him more. Oh yeah, we definitely agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I'm
Oh,
Canadian.
and by the way, I'm going to be going to see Warfare tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I heard
okay.
about that.
All right.
Forgot about
So
that
yeah,
movie.
not the worst MCU movie, but definitely far from the best.
Yeah, I'll watch it and give you guys my thoughts on it when it comes to Disney Plus because I wanted to wait till the heat dies down on this one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Okay.
The next. All right. Next up from Ethan. All right. So I guess Ethan is gone. So, or at least Ethan's silent right now. So I guess I'll start from me. And that's a movie called Unstoppable. This one debut. This movie was released on Amazon Prime back in January, and I decided to watch it. And back in February, I thought the film was good. Like, it was good for what it was. Like, for those who don't know what the movie is about, let me pull up the plot.
I have it actually here.
Synopsis.
Born with one leg, Anthony
Yeah.
Robles defies expectations to become a champion wrestler in college, competing against the very school that rejected her.
Yeah, it's about that, and it's definitely one of the it's definitely a wrestling, which is kind of weird how MGM released a wrestling movie and a boxing movie around the same time as each other.
Interesting.
Yeah, the film was good. The film had some good performances from the cast, which includes Jarrell Jerome, Michael Pena, Bobby Cannavale, Don Cheadle, and surprisingly Jennifer Lopez. Who would have thought?
I'm actually not surprised because she was in Out of Sight, and she was good in that.
And the movie definitely had some good wrestling scenes in it, and it's a good biographical sports drama about Anthony Robles. But the movie can drag at points, and it does fall in line with all biopics I've seen. But otherwise, if you could get past it, it's a good watch. 7 out of 10.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and review some that I finally got to watch recently. I finally saw this movie in theaters lately. I finally saw this movie, Honora.
Nice. I need to watch that.
That's right, folks. When Honora got to play at my Cinemark theater again, I finally got to watch it. And holy shit, folks, this movie is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Baker's screenplay and directing are excellent. The cinematography is also excellent. The acting is phenomenal too, especially from Mikey Madison.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I definitely agree. It's a rundown. At this point, MGM is much better than WB.
Yeah, at this
Mainly
point.
because of David Sleazebag, and same thing goes for Ketchup Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll talk about that film when we get to
Hell,
it.
Warner Brothers.
I want to talk about that film after I review this movie.
Mm-hmm.
All
But
right.
anyway, the story is really good. It's very well shot. It's well edited. The soundtrack is really good. It's really funny.
Equivalent.
Yeah.
And this movie will be getting a 4K release on April 29th by the Criterion Collection.
Oh yeah, I
Nice.
pre-ordered it.
Yeah. From the few bits of Honora that I saw, let's just say I have something for Mikey Madison at this point. She's now just become attractive.
I
Yeah.
understand
I
what
saw
you
the whole
mean.
thing on Vudu.
And
Mhm.
that ending was really good too. It's no surprise that why this movie won Best Picture at the Oscars.
Yeah.
And it was much more deserving of another film that I'll be talking about when I talk about a Best Picture winner from the Oscars.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
How did that get nominated over Nosferatu?
Yeah, but let's save that.
Honora is an excellent film that if you have not seen Honora, definitely check it out. 10 out of
I've seen
10
it
or an
on
A+.
Vudu.
And
Mhm.
now I get to talk about the movie that I want to talk about the most. The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie!
I still need to watch that. I still
I
need
saw
to-
that movie twice. The first time alone and the second time with a friend.
I did.
I
it too.
love
I
this
went to
movie.
that.
Best movie.
I love this
I
film.
love this movie.
So
In
Yeah,
your
I love
face,
this
in your
movie.
face, David Zaslav.
In your
Yeah.
face, Mr. Zaslav.
Yeah, fuck you, sleazebag, and fuck your hatred for Looney Tunes.
That's
Exactly.
I joked.
that's
I made that
up
joke.
your-
The villain versus the real villain.
Yes.
He's the real villain, not Darkseid. Because even Darkseid wouldn't go that far.
And by the way, thank you, Ketchup Entertainment, for getting your hands on this movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
As well as Coyote
Thank you,
versus
Ketchup
Act.
Entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get to my review. The animation is excellent. Because this is hand-drawn animation, for God's sake.
And
Yeah, what's there not to love about that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If there's a movie that people need to go out of their way to support, it's this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hope it all does well at home media
I'm
sales.
just gonna go ahead and say this right now. Skip the Snow White remake. This is the movie worth seeing.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I went to Ash. That is a science fiction movie that did much worse at the box office.
Oof.
Oof. All right. Anyway, the story is really good. The screenplay was excellent. This is the best screenplay of the year so far.
Mm-hmm.
The voice acting is excellent, especially from Eric Bauza as
Yeah.
Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, who have excellent chemistry in this movie. The characters are very memorable, especially, like I said, Daffy Duck and Porky Pig. And let's not forget about the villain, the Invader.
Yeah. And that
Oh,
twist.
by the way, Mr. Chilbian, the day that Diaz Station blew up was back in November of 2021.
All
Yep.
Yeah.
right.
I'll-
Oh, yeah. It's very well paced throughout. The humor is very funny,
Yeah.
especially that one gag.
Don't tell me.
But yeah, and the
The-
ending was really good. Overall, I have no flaws with this movie. This is the best film I've seen this year so far, and it will indeed be my number one best at the end of the year. 10 out of 10 or an A+. And this is the first film this year to receive my Cinematic Excellence Award certificate.
The day Alex blew up was back in October of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, for my thoughts, I loved this movie to death. We finally got a proper animated Looney Tunes movie, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
I love how this movie actually made me care about both Daffy and Porky's relationship, and Petunia has no right to be dislikable and fun to watch when she was on screen.
Yeah.
Already in just this moment, she's already cemented herself as probably one of the best characters in this franchise.
Yeah.
And it was also both consistently laughing, and it actually made me smile. I actually felt like a child watching this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It felt like it felt like what we truly deserved, a true Looney Tunes movie. And my God, there was no movie this year that honestly, if there's like, this is definitely the best film of the year so far.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the one that I would definitely rate a high 10.
And
I love this movie.
And you know, it's actually baffling that David Zaslav didn't want this movie, but yet he wanted the Flash with that problematic actor.
Right.
Yeah. Also, and yeah, Ghost Fargo, that rating is well deserved. It's a fantastic movie, and it's definitely.
I
and
did
it's
not
definitely
see this, but I'm sure as hell not skipping Coyote versus Acme.
Same here.
Same.
Coyote versus Acme.
Yeah.
Look at
We're not
Mr.
skipping that
Trivia
film
come
in the
down.
world.
Mm-hmm.
All right. My next movie is Mickey 17.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait, before we get to that. How much I didn't want to tell us that. Anyways,
My next movie is Mickey 17.
Let me put it on screen.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. I wanted
Yeah,
to see it, but I couldn't get around to it, unfortunately.
Yeah,
saw it.
I did
thought
see
it
this
was-
movie 2 weeks ago, and I thought it was really entertaining.
It
It may not be as good as Bong Joon-ho's previous works,
Yeah.
including Parasite, but I still loved it.
I need to
I
get
thought it was
caught up.
alright.
with the rest of
Robert
his work. I
Pattinson
enjoyed
gives an
Parasite,
excellent performance in this
and I
movie.
enjoyed this film.
It's well shot. The visual effects are excellent.
Yeah.
And the commentary is spot on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent
pretty much.
commentary. The story was really engaging as well.
I
The
confess.
screenplay was well written, and the humor is really funny.
Apparently, Robert Pattinson
Now,
he took inspiration from Ren and Stimpy of all things, which I can totally see.
That makes more sense
if
than
I were to
Venom
have any
Eddie.
problems with this movie, the pacing can be a bit rough, and
I
the
agree.
ending was kind of underwhelming.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I love this movie. 9 out of 10 or an A-.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wish I'd gone around to see it first before the day the Earth blew up, but I was still dealing with trigeminal neuralgia, and I was sick by that point. But
Right.
yeah,
My
it
next
kind of got
movie?
pulled. All right.
Sorry. My
Wait,
next
Rich,
movie.
does anyone? What's your thoughts on it?
Okay. I thought the film was all right. Like I did like some of the how Mickey dies, and plus some of the acting was fine. I think Robert Pattinson taking inspiration from Ren and Stimpy, like Rex pointed out, was good. It made more sense than Venom being taking inspiration from Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go eat dinner. I'll be right back.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Mickey
Overall-
17.
It was fine. It's not my favorite, but you know what? It's passable. But way better.
And of course,
Normal.
critical judgment of this movie propaganda.
Ugh.
Took him long enough, and if anything, I thought he would be sucking up to it because, like, he would be sucking up to things, but not realizing that it would be make fun of them. Like, that's the kind of people they would suck up to these things with. That for example, they'd suck up to Judge Dredd because they would think, oh, police cool. When the whole point of Judge Dredd is that it's meant to be a dark satire with law enforcement being promoted to judge, jury, and executioner.
Yep.
And, or like he recommended Blue Eye Samurai. If anything, I think he would hate that show because the only white man in the show is the villain. And like there's a strong female lead that's half Asian and like the predominantly Asian cast, and like it's a feminist story. My guess is he only liked it for all the naked women.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to see it.
Yeah. The Matrix Resurrections. Yeah, that was so good. That we all went to see it 100 times. Yeah, the Critical Drinker is propaganda, and of course he acts like Sony regarding when it comes to criticism of his movie.
Yeah,
This is a criticism that I don't like using when it comes to people, but I'm just gonna say it. A Critical Drinker is freaking woke.
Yeah.
The message.
The message. All right. So with Mickey 17 out of the way, time to see where I started off because next film I saw is Alarum.
Alarum.
For those who don't know, this movie stars Sylvester Stallone.
What happened to
this
you,
kind
man? You went from Creed to the Expendables 4 to this.
Yeah. And of course, because he's pulling yet another Bruce Willis and Morgan Freeman and John Travolta. And this movie was boring. Like, aside from the opening, from the intro, the animated intro, which I actually kind of liked, and I'll bet the action wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I expected a worse made movie, but I guess this one's competent. This one is boring, poorly written, and pointless. It's definitely one of the worst movies. Yeah. This is yet another disposable trash direct-to-video movie released by Grindstone that got released in theaters. And
What happened to you, man? You used to be cool. I'm still cool.
Yeah.
Nah, you change, man.
Yeah, and of course it got taken out just like that.
Mm-hmm.
3 out of 10. I guess it could have been worse, but it's still pretty shit.
Ooh boy,
Yeah,
the
shit.
For this one.
All right, then. Right. Wait, what do you have to show?
Let's see. 3.3 out of 10. Oof. Scott Eastwood? Mike Coulter? What are you doing here?
What happened to you
Crazy.
guys? You used to be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the wrong thing. And of course. Yeah, pretty bad. But what do you expect from movies released by Grindstone that's considered direct-to-video trash?
Makes sense.
And not last but not least, Metacritic.
Let's see what Metacritic got to say about it.
Ooh!
Look
7.1.
at the user scores.
Ouch! Only based around 9 users.
I mean, that's even more than the critics. So, yeah, really says a lot.
Yeah, but again, it's to be expected that trash like this. These movies don't even make me angry anymore. I felt that way with Cosmic Sin, which I felt like was absolutely objectively terrible, but nowadays they just make me feel nothing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I felt watching Alarum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At this point,
all right.
you freaks are more worried about me being back on YouTube than you are about the Switch's too expensive price. It's rather fascinating.
Oh, wait, we forgot one other movie. Look at my comment.
All right, let's see. All right, the comment says,
Put it up.
yeah, The Matrix Resurrections.
2, Electric Boogaloo. That never gets old.
And by the way, Diaz, it's not none of your business on on what people spend their money on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like seriously though, like no need to insult us for spending our money. Like, although we're not paying for any Switch too, just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the next movie I saw is a movie called Brave the Dark. For those who don't know who distributed this movie, Angel Studios.
Ah, Brave the Dark. Angel Studios.
Yeah, and this movie came out back in 2023, but was later released until 2025. And so, to my shock, I watched it, and it's the first one I've seen in a while since that other infamous movie that we don't speak of.
The biggest scam.
And yeah, and the movie is about for the premise. I'm only reading it off of IMDb to get a remembrance of the movie. It's basically the premise is haunted by torturous childhood memories. Nate Williams finds himself engulfed in darkness when his drama team confront his past before it leads to his own destruction. And I thought the film was okay. Like surprisingly, for a movie that's raised under a religious studio, this film has actually very little about religion or faith. And while the pacing is uneven, but the performances from Jared Harris and Sasha Baron and Ethan Davis are the ones that do carry this. And it does tell a bit of an effective story about trauma. And I would say, yeah, I think I want to keep a bit of an eye on Angel Studios because, you know, even though there's parts of them I don't trust, I'd still put it ahead of trash like Pureflix or The Daily Wire.
Right.
Hey, at least they're not mean-spirited like the latter.
And from what I'd heard,
6.5
isn't doing too good.
Yep. So yeah. And with the movie, and if anyone's going to be watching King of Kings this weekend, I guess I guess
Warfare.
It'll be a fun day to see just how real it is. Because you know it's about to be Easter. So the next movie that I watched was a movie called I'm Still Here.
I saw that too.
I like to remember. You saw it too?
Hey, welcome back.
I saw it too.
All right. So you want to give your thoughts on this?
Yeah. This is an excellent foreign language film.
Huh. Oh, it's on my watch list.
The directing is excellent. The acting was spectacular. The story is phenomenal too. I pretty much connected to every single character in this movie. Like,
same.
The pacing is excellent. It's beautifully shot. It's very well edited. And yeah, I'm definitely giving I'm Still Here a 10 out of 10 or an A+.
Same here. I also really liked it. And for a foreign film, I was glad that I was able to watch it. And I am so happy that it won Best International Feature because in order just to make sure that piece of crap named Amelia Perez loses. That film had no right to get 13 nominations.
No, it did not.
Like seriously though, that's way too many.
I like get around to seeing that movie.
Yeah, and I watched it, and it was a really good movie, and I definitely did. I almost cried at points at this movie because of how much of a gut punch this movie is. And I would definitely say, please watch this You will, and yeah, it's definitely the second best movie of 2025 for me. Still being beaten by Looney Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, look what I put in the private chat.
That
That
be
would
pretty
be
much
stupid.
that'd be
That
horrible.
would- yeah.
That movie's awful. Like seriously though, look at one of the infamous song, "Love." You know, the one that's revolving on the hospital because it's hard to say that name. Like this, though. Like
Like, what if Amelia Perez won every single award in every award show?
That would be stupid.
Horrible.
Schaeferless is absolutely based for tearing this one apart.
Yeah, as always. Yeah, Emilia Perez can choke balls. Here, you get to live on as being a true masterpiece for foreign films. So, right. So, Ethan, do you have other films to review?
I have Paddington in Peru.
Woo!
Oh boy, there's another. All right, Pat, let me try to get it up, and here we go.
Yeah, folks. This was a really good third installment to a franchise.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, folks. This may not be as good as the first two, but I still loved it nonetheless.
Yeah. Same.
The story is really good.
Yeah.
The screenplay was very well written. The acting from the live action characters was great. And the voice acting from Paddington himself was excellent. The humor is still funny as always. It's very well shot. It's well paced. And that ending really got me tearing up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, originally I gave this a 9.5 out of 10, but afterwards, you know what? 10 out of 10 or an A+.
All right.
Yeah,
May not be as good as the first two Paddington movies, but still an excellent film.
yeah,
Mhm.
and yeah, this is definitely the weakest Paddington movies, but that's not to say that this film is bad. It's still really good
Yeah.
because this movie actually built upon things in Paddington's life, Paddington's family life, as we actually learn about his culture around and Peru. And as someone who has never been to Peru, this movie makes me want to go there. And
Yeah.
and Antonio Banderas was fantastic as in this movie. Like he alone was made it probably one of the best parts of this movie.
Yeah. For
And
sure.
yes, that ending really did it. Not to mention,
It's honestly a shame that neither of the live action Smurfs movies or the live action Peter Rabbit movies were like this. That's a really big shame because if they
Yeah.
were like this, they would be received a lot better.
For sure.
yeah, Paddington and Peru and the Paddington trilogy as a whole proves that good family movies based off children's media and it can actually be done well. It actually lead to success. Like people thought that Paddington would have sucked, and here we are. We got to a trilogy, and an alleged fourth movie. So yeah, I really like this. 8.5 out of 10. It's definitely an enjoyable ride.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it too.
The other reason why this is also technically the weakest is because of the lack of because Hawking's absence is definitely noticeable, but it's not to say that the replacements still did pretty good for what they did and actually continued the story.
Right.
Yeah. This is the only other trilogy that comes close is the Sonic movies, which have been consistently good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually got better.
In fact, I'd make the case that they got better.
Yeah.
So So yeah, Paddington in Peru. All right, that's in the private chat. I have two. Yeah. We'll save one of them later but we'll save No Other Land for next for the April, since that was when it was watched. But we will talk about Ash in case you're wondering. So, all right. So let's see. That's Paddington in Peru. What's next
All right.
from Ethan?
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and review Hard Eyes.
Oh yeah.
This was a really fun horror slasher.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the kills were really fun.
Yeah, they went all out on the kills.
The screenplay was well written. Most of the acting was great.
Mm-hmm.
It's very well shot. It's well edited. It has a great soundtrack. And just, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I were to point out any problems, it's that the story is cliched and some of the acting is pretty weak. And that ending was a bit rushed. But otherwise, I really enjoyed it. 8.5 out of 10. Or B+. I liked it.
Yeah. Hard Eyes. That was the kind of the slasher film I have yet to see.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
My next movie is Dogman.
Nice.
Okay, wait. Dogman re-review. Yeah. This was last minute.
Yeah, folks.
DreamWorks.
I did get to see this movie.
DreamWorks, you are officially back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, folks. I really like this movie a lot. This was a pretty good movie. The animation is really good. Most of the voice acting was great. Most of the pacing was really solid, too. It's well edited. It's got a good soundtrack. And most of the humor really lands.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did find the ending to be pretty solid.
Yeah,
now,
I
if
really
I were to
like
have
this
any
one as well.
problems with this movie, is that the story is cliched. Some of the voice acting is a bit eh. The pacing can be a bit rough. And some of the humor didn't quite land. But yeah, Dogman was actually pretty good. 7 out of 10 or B.
all right.
For me, I would definitely give it an 8 out of 10 because I really enjoyed this film. Also, and this film I did not think that this movie, of all things, I love how they actually made a actually good redemption arc for Petey of all characters.
Right on. Oh,
Yeah.
my dad's here, and I'm getting ready to have dinner.
Yeah.
I'll join later.
All right.
See ya.
So, all right. See ya. All right. So yeah. All right. So any more? All right. So I guess the next one that I watched is a movie called Love Me. And this movie, let me pull it up because I watched these months ago and sometimes I won't. They is basically what happens if you combine. It basically what combines. It's basically if you tried to make WALL-E today, like if WALL-E was made today, it would with things about from The Sims, it would look about something like this movie. Yeah, it would be about this movie. And in case you didn't know, this movie stars. It stars Andrew Zucchero and it stars Kristen Stewart and Steven Yeun. I'll say this: first half, the movie did invest me a little bit. It wasn't, and I did like the performances, and they definitely give some good performances. But the artificial intelligence, gauging, and it just ends up meandering itself. Like, I honestly wish this would have been worked more as a short film than a full-on movie, because otherwise you get a movie that has a pretty solid first half, but flounders in the second half to the point where it's just not engaging. So yeah, 5 out of 10. All right, the next one all right. Next movie I watched is Valiant 1. The only thing that's interesting about this movie is the fact that it stars Ruby Gillman. And it has her fight in North Korea. That's a war movie. And that's really the only thing that's memorable about this movie, because aside from some good okay action, this movie was bland. None of the characters are interesting, and most of the acting was kind of black. The movie just it's in here one out the other, like pretty much every movie this year, with a couple of exceptions. This only got a theatrical release, and honestly, it's one of the best. This one was just forgotten about. 4 out of 10. All right, and because nobody saw Love Hurts, this one's from Ryan. And it's called The Dead Thing. Is anyone still listening?
Yeah. I'm
Yep.
still
Yeah.
here.
All right, Ryan, this one's from you.
Okay, I actually really liked it. I'm pretty surprised that it even has a 37% Google user score.
Yeah, this one's from Shudder, wasn't it? And if we were able to summarize a little bit of this movie,
It's a Shudder original. I have like an AMC Plus account.
yeah, I've heard about this one because it was an erotic Shudder movie. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't
It's-
see that often. And
Yeah.
Blue Hunt is attractive.
all right. So yeah, that's really all Ryan says about The Dead Thing. So the next movie I watched, a movie called Neja 2. Yes, I actually watched it.
I need to watch Neja too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, this movie is the highest grossing animated movie of all time, officially beating Inside Out 2. Cry about it, Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
I never seen it, but that is just fantastic achievement right there.
Yeah.
Hey, what the hell are you doing here? Get out. Oh my god, I can't believe this.
Hey, what are you doing? What do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing, bridging this movie over my precious Inside 2?
It did better than Inside Out 2. I didn't say anything good about it.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah, you can
and
leave
yeah,
now.
in preparation for this movie, I had to revisit the first Neja movie, and it was actually a lot better than I remember. And honestly, I can actually compare the original movie to Nimona. It's kind of like that. And
Trolls
and
fed
the
together
sequel-
is better than the day the earth blew up.
Oh, shut up.
This movie was nothing short of fantastic. It's
No,
not only
it's
better
not.
than the first movie.
Shut your goddamn mouth, Alex.
Yeah. As it actually built upon what the first movie, as we explore more of the world. Neja's character continues to develop, and of course, the animation and action scenes were nothing short of fantastic.
No, they're not.
Now-
They're cheap and lazy.
Yeah.
They're
And
not.
that, and
Oh my
Trolls
god!
band together.
What are you
Trolls
doing here?
band.
Get the hell
Trolls
away
band-
from me!
Trolls band together fan 2001. What are you doing on Movie and Cartoon Fans channel?
Because I wanted to teach them a lesson.
You brain dead moron. You shouldn't be on one of my haters' channels.
Then what are you doing here, Sade?
I'm here to
Yeah,
spy. I'm here to spy on you guys.
yeah, and I'm not gonna give anything away because it's a movie you should both watch the first one and go this one blind as possible. But otherwise, 10 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. Because like the last film, the gross out humor really didn't do it for me, and the film can be a little bit too long. But otherwise, Neja 2 was a great film, and definitely worthy of beating Inside Out at the box office.
No, it's not. Nizar 2 is cheap and lazy.
You use
Alex?
cheap and lazy as an insult all the time.
Yeah, so yeah. Ryan, you watched a movie called The Unbreakable Boy, right?
Yeah, I had to go as a family event.
All right, I guess you can give your thoughts on this.
This movie's cheap and lazy.
Well, obviously not that, but yeah, I think there's a good reason why a lot of people hate this movie, as it's pretty disrespectful to the autism spectrum.
Oh, just like
Hey, what the hell are you doing?
What
No,
Yeah,
we have two
what
more
are
of
you
these
doing,
idiots.
other Misanthropony? I missed you so much.
Oh,
Across
what
the
are you
Spider-Verse
doing
is
here?
woke. Gwen Stacy is freaking woke.
No,
You
you're
are not
not.
Miss
You are
Anthropony.
woke
I
It's
am.
like, oh yeah, from
No,
what I heard,
I am Misanthropony.
No, I
yeah,
am.
guys, from what I heard about this movie, apparently there was a scene where one of the characters, where the boy, where the characters in this movie uses the R word about 50 times in one scene.
Oh no.
I'm surprised that they didn't get a PG-13
I'm
rating
here
for
to
that.
spy on one of my haters. I'm here to spy on my hateum.
Yeah, like
Oh,
Ghost Star Gal
You
said,
freaks are
that's
more
like,
worried
like,
about me than you
User
are about the
Ghost Star
Switch
Gal said
2's
it best.
price. It's rather fascinating.
like yeah, Ghost Star Gal said it best. Bro thinks he's DS Station Junior.
Oh yeah, speaking of that scene, look at what it went through with the UK. It got the same
Oh,
thing as
dear.
PG-13
That's not
for
very
the
good.
R word alone.
Oh.
Yeah, they did not.
DreamWorks never
release-
died.
They did not show any mercy on this. It was a flat-out PG-13 over there.
Yeah, as someone with autism, this is basically this year's music. And trust me, you never want to be compared to that movie.
Music is cinema.
No,
No,
it's
it's
not, you
not.
brain dead
Shut up.
moron.
Music is cinema.
No, it's not. It's ableist.
Like yourself, Diaz?
I'm on the
3CG
spectrum
was
too.
right.
I'm on the
Cuties
spectrum
is kind of
too,
an underrated
movies and
film.
cartoon
Come on,
fan.
people. There are worse things in this world than twerking girls.
No.
Cuties is CP.
Well, you're not wrong there. I mean, that's your only actually great video, Zane.
So yeah.
And also, I'm on the spectrum too. Are black people racist for saying the N-word?
I
Even
know
if
because
you're on the spectrum, that's no excuse to go after other people. All right. Look, I'm tired of having to play with all you.
all right. Yeah, let's stop before this turn before we derail a conversation. Derail the conversation. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, The Unbreakable boy, it was a shit fest that I probably won't even be able to see. So the next one I watched was a movie called Cleaner. If I were to summarize what this movie is often being compared to Die Hard, and I actually liked it. Yeah, a Die Hard clone that I actually liked. This movie stars Daisy Ridley, and she was actually really good here. And if I had any problems, it's the fact that it doesn't take until the last third to get any real action. But the movie does have some pretty good tension, and I actually cared about her character. And not to mention, this movie was actually a lot. I was actually caring about a bit more once we got to the second because as someone who does have fear of heights, this movie was surprisingly a lot more. It actually kept me in suspense. Yeah, you're too late here, Fury.
Oh,
And sorry, Rex is not here right now. So yeah, I actually really and yeah. So Cleaner was definitely one of the more underrated movies of 2025 for me, and I definitely give it a 7 out of 10.
Just imagine if the Unbreakable Boy received an R18 plus in Australia.
Our word for 18-year-olds. Yeah, no way. So
I mean,
yeah.
they did that to Devil May Cry, the animated show.
Yeah, all right. So the next movie in this, right, it came from Ryan, and it's called.
I would say something about it, but let's just say that it's pretty graphic in nature. Again, it's a comedy, but this is something that would definitely get an NC-17.
In America, that is.
Yes.
I've never heard about this movie. Like what? How graphic is it? Like any moments?
Well, there is scenes of violence. Hold up. Okay, the violence is pretty graphic. Some graphic sexual references. I forgot since I had watched it last month.
Yeah.
But then again,
Yeah,
it's a comedy, and there are far worse movies out there than this one.
Yeah. All right. So the next movie I watched was. Get ready to laugh at me for this. You can blame Harry.
Why would you watch something like that?
Blame Harry Thomas, and someone uploaded it on YouTube. Yeah, part of me wants to get into the into the Barbie cinematic universe now. Ever since the hype of that movie from 2023. Yeah, and the movie
It's only an hour long.
Yeah, it could technically count as a movie, but then again, so was Look Back. And I thought it was harmless. Like, of all things, I would say this movie is definitely harmless. The characters are meh. And the movie this whole 1 hour, it definitely felt like two different movies because when you're watching it, it feels like it has two different sub movies altogether. It felt like it wanted to be as long as it could, but otherwise, yeah, if you're not a Barbie head like most of us, you're probably not going to care about anything we have to say about it. And because you're not going to care, we're just going to move on to the next movie.
Okay, now remember how I showed you that 0% on Rotten Tomatoes score of that Sylvester Stallone movie? Well, this is the opposite. Hello?
Hello.
The critic reception was, it's the opposite of Alarum. It was critically acclaimed, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and 87 on Metacritic.
It's an A24 movie, so
Yeah, what'd you
It's
expect?
basically a dark comedy / drama movie. On an empty road in the middle of the night, somebody named Shola stumbles across the body of her uncle. As her funeral unfolds, the cousins unveil the buried secrets of their Zambian family in a vibrant reckoning with the lies we tell ourselves.
All right, I have a question in the private chat. Would you pay $175 for a PS6 game?
No way in hell. And plus, I'm an
Nothing.
Xbox person anyway.
Would you pay $175 for an Xbox game anyway?
Hell no.
nothing will make me go above $100 to buy a console, let alone a game. Anyways, how Unbecoming a Guinea Fowl has an interesting title. Have it?
Well, obviously, I couldn't go see it in theaters, so I had to watch it on Vudu.
Yeah, and the movie was good to you.
Yeah, I mean, with the 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, you can't go wrong with something like that.
Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much Unbecoming a Guinea Fowl for Ryan. And the next movie I have to talk about. Oh God, it's a movie called In the Lost Lands. And guess what? Who directed this piece of garbage?
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Oh my god, I saw the trailer for this in Flight Risk.
I watched it and oh my God, I hated this so much. Like, it is currently the worst movie of the year so far, along with Alarum and Flight Risk of what I saw. Because my God, this movie was awful. The only thing that kept it from getting half a star is Dave Bautista. That's it. It felt like he was the only one actually trying, because everything else is crap. And of course, because it's a Paul W.S. Anderson movie, it had to star Milla Jovovich, which can only really speak trouble. Because as we all know, Paul W.S. loves to shove his wife in front of everything. Anyways, this movie is trash in terms of characterization, in terms of building, and aside from a couple of decent production designs, which I think was just trying to be Mad Max, and a more steampunk version of it, mind you, the CGI is awful, and the storytelling is horrendously misguided and broken. Like, seriously though, nothing in this movie makes sense. Like, this movie is to me what Rebel Moon was to everybody else. It was that bad. 2 out of 10. Maybe even 1.5 out of 10, actually.
It makes
Because
Rebel Moon look like Blade Runner.
Yeah, because at least with Rebel Moon, that movie actually had promise because I believe that Zack Snyder is a talented director, whereas he was just too stupid to realize that he should have just released, the director's cut from the very beginning instead of having to really shittily edited to pieces on Netflix, because this isn't like with Warner Brothers and Justice League, mind you. This is a streaming platform. You have no excuse. Whereas Paul W.S. Anderson is just shit.
Look what I put in the private chat.
Honestly, he and who wants to bet Milla Jovovich would be Jane in that movie.
And also, what if Paul W.S. Anderson wrote and directed a live-action remake of The Hunchback of Notre Dame?
And it includes, about the Tarzan one, imagine if it has hideous CGI gorillas.
It would probably end up that live action Hunchback movie would probably have hideous CGI looking gargoyles, and they'll basically make it to where Quasimodo never was never outside of the tower before.
Yeah, this movie was trash. One of the worst movies of the year, and it's definitely going to be in the top 10 worst movie, in the top 11 worst movies of the year by the end of by the time we get to 2026. So yeah, hated it. All right, let's see what we have next because I make sure I'm trying to go over all the reviews, all of the more standalone reviews before Rex shows up because he. All right, the next movie from Ryan is. Ryan, are you still here?
It's actually an LGBT movie. Believe it or not, this is actually an LGBT movie in French. So basically, it's about Jeremy a guy named Jeremy who returns to his hometown in Saint Martial, I don't know how to pronounce that name, to attend his former boss's funeral. He stays for a few days with the widow Martine. Then his presence angers when her son Vincent and causes a fight between the two men, which ends with Jeremy killing Vincent and manages to conceal his crime with the unexpected help of the village priest, who provides him with an alibi in exchange for his affection.
Yeah, an LGBT movie, and probably a good one, isn't it?
It has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, they're definitely seeking out some pretty good indie darlings.
Wow, you saying that to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why I've been avoided mainstream stuff and went to indie darlings, and it's going pretty well for me. It's going much better than a lot of you. Damn, everyone's silent here.
Yep.
All right. So, and of course, Ryan has been wanting to talk about this all throughout the stream. You have the floor with this one.
Okay, you all know how I did not see the day the Earth blew up. Well, I went to another science fiction movie that just so happened to be even worse at the box office. Now, Okay, so while The Day the Earth Blew Up grossed $11 million, this made $1 million.
Yikes.
Yeah, so I think I'm glad that I went to Ash because, well, that did so much worse, and I thought I'd support it. So
and because it's a Shudder release.
And RLJE, who owns them, by the way. On a distant planet, an astronaut named Rhea wakes up to find the entire crew of her space station has been killed and that she has amnesia, apart from abrupt memories of her partners and their missions. Subject to paranoia, she can't determine whether or not to trust a man who claims to know her, sent to rescue her. So basically, the man is untrustworthy. The movie is pretty gruesome. Not surprising, it's a Shudder release, and it's not bad for Flying Lotus's first theatrically released movie.
Welcome back, Razor.
Glad to be back.
Oh, hey, welcome back.
Oh,
by the
I
way,
forgot a movie.
by the way, you
Okay,
you missed.
let's let Ethan talk.
I did forget. I forgot to review a movie, The Monkey.
Let's finish that until Ryan fully talks about Ash.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right.
I don't have anything else to say.
Oh.
All right.
My next review is The Monkey.
Oh boy, that movie was intense.
It was. This movie was fucking awesome. Osgood
Not to
Perkins
mention
does
the
it again.
tagline is just funny. It's just awesome. Everybody dies, and that's fucked up.
But yeah, the story was very engaging. It's
Mhm.
very well written. Most of the acting was good. The kills were very intense.
Mhm.
It's mostly well paced throughout. It's very well shot. And that ending really, he got me by surprise.
By the way, hey Razor Rex, Fury the film fan is here.
I'm the boogeyman.
Yo, what the hell are you doing? Get out!
Don't worry, Rex. It's Chilbian.
Uh,
God, it's
Why didn't you talk to Jeremy?
this is so ridiculous. I'm wondering what the hell
You
we're
should have
even
talked to
doing.
Jeremy, yo.
Oh man. But anyway,
Man,
Anyway,
I better work better on my reviews.
if I were to point out some problems, some of the pacing can be a bit rough, and some of the acting was. Also, some of the characters weren't that good. But otherwise,
yeah,
this was a really good movie, and I'm going to give this movie a 9 out of 10 or an A minus.
Mm-hmm.
You should have
All right.
you shouldn't have
Perkins.
canceled him.
Osgood Perkins, well done, sir.
All right. All right. This one came from Rex.
Okay. Which first up, I need to get this thing out from this game. I ever tell you about the time my buddy Keith got rolled by a gator in a swamp? That's from Left 4 Dead 2. This film, The Bayou, it's a lackluster alligator horror movie from these producers who are of lackluster shark horror movies. Though not the worst. It's still
47 meters
underwhelming.
down.
What?
It's from the
Okay.
guys of 47 meters down.
Yes, 47 meters down. And, well, I was expecting not much, but it's actually much better than most of those movies because, they actually move around instead of the location that they're stuck in. Like, it's not just one remote spot. There's just nothing special to offer. There's no emotional connection with the characters, and there are no stakes or scares. There was only one. The only noteworthy thing I can say is that the actress for Musa from Netflix's Fate of the Winx, which I haven't seen and I don't plan to, the actress who played Musa is in this movie. That's not much.
Yeah. I remember liking 47 meters down back in 2019 when I watched it on Netflix.
I might have to revisit those movies because I was not the biggest fan of them.
Yeah. So that's it for The Bayou.
Mm-hmm. Last Breath. This film, it was based off true events. And it's actually apparently a documentary is made about it. It was really good. It had some Woody Harrelson was great as always, and he I felt really emotional connection. I got emotional around the end. I was emotionally relieved. The cinematography was great, and yeah. The performances were great. They felt like these feel like people that knew each other. Okay, we can do Queen of the Ring next. Queen of the Ring.
Oh, no. You finished up Last Breath.
Okay.
Sorry.
Last Breath. The people, the cast, they felt like people that actually knew each other. That these were people that knew each other for a long time and were working with each other, and it felt making it feel more genuine. My only issue is that, it's being based off true events. We kind of know the outcome, but overall, pretty good. I'd give it a 4 out of 5.
All right. And now the next one is
Queen of the Ring. This one is based off the true life story of Mildred Burke, a professional wrestler who pioneered women wrestling when it was banned in most of America. And I'm not that into wrestling, but I have to say I had a good time with this film. Her journey, was compelling, and the performance from Emily Bett Records was great. like she was charismatic and competent, but and despite all of her victories, you guys still had the sense that she was an underdog. And the rest of the cast was great too. I mean, like, and I liked how like most of it didn't rely like most of these people were unknowns, like weren't unknowns. I mean, some of them were, but I liked how it was mostly not too reliant on star powers. Oh, and the soundtrack was great. It has Kitty, Diamante, and Corey Taylor. So that's awesome. Mm-hmm. All right.
The next movie is
Night of the Zoopocalypse. Hey, Tom, it's Bob from the office down the hall. This film, like, I thought about, like, you know, waiting this film till it came out on home media release, but after hearing good reception, the one that pushed me to see it was George R. Gutierrez, known for El Tigre and Book of Life and other great works. When he sung his praise about it, and it was a pleasant surprise. I mean, not the best animated movie, but it was pretty of the year, but it was pretty good.
It was released by Viva Kids of all things.
Yeah, and like the film like took advantage with the animation, like it, and despite being a kids movie, like it was not afraid to hold back on the disturbing imagery, and actually got creative with like the zombie zoo animals. I mean, it paid homage to classic B movies, and it was also self-aware, but not like but in an endearing and clever and charming kind of way, and not like the smug, cynical kind of way. And I really like the monster designs too, and a lot of the jokes hit the mark. Yeah,
Velma was atrocious.
Yeah, this is what.
Thank God that show was canceled.
Yeah. Indeed.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, Night of the Zoopocalypse. If you want to have a kid and want to get them into horror, I'd suggest this film.
All right. So the next movie is the one that me and Rex did, Novocaine.
Novocaine. Yeah, I had a good time with this film. This
movie was movie was pure fun.
Yeah, and
it's about a movie. It's about a man who can't feel pain.
Yeah,
and yet somehow can get hurt.
Yeah, and it felt like one of those 80s or 90s action movies that would have some kind of gimmick, and it worked in its favor. Like the protagonist took advantage of that, but you still had the sense because not just for his safety, but for the whole. Because he can't tell if he's in danger or not with his condition.
And plus this movie also has Ned Leeds in it.
Yep.
And hold on, alternate Spider-Man was played by Jack Quaid, has his own Ned Leeds.
Yeah, and of course the love interest is Naru from Prey. Had to joke that, and what else was great about the protagonist, Nathan Kane, was he wasn't like typical other action heroes. Like he was more like Milo James Thatch from Atlantis. Like he's a nerd like us. And he gets what the
yep.
Sad. Sorry.
Yeah.
And he's a nerd like us, and he's not like some Schwarzenegger or Stallone. Matter of which we previously mentioned.
Yep. And I thought this one was balls to the walls. And for the action sequence, the action itself was a lot of fun, but pretty gruesome.
Yeah, I liked how it was also innovative. Like my favorite scene was when he fought the tattoo guy. I'm not going to say what he did for those who haven't seen it.
Yeah, Novocaine was pretty much, and honestly, this was the other movie that I saw instead of that Snow White remake. By the way,
yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah. So yeah, support actual good movies and not trash like that Disney spews out.
And also, this is an original film. It's not based off a pre-existing IP or anything. So why isn't this doing more numbers at the box office? I've been hearing people complain about how they're tired of sequels, remakes, reboots, sequels, and superhero movies. But this is the movie to support.
And you guys couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
Shame on you guys.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you guys went to watch a remake of Disney's first animated movie, which put them on the map, and Disney is basically disrespecting their own history, but didn't see this
Certainly
movie.
not me.
Come on, people.
What happened to you, Disney? You used to be cool.
I'm still cool.
Nah, you changed, man.
Oh, and actually something, because see, I did this video, like in defense of the original Snow White, and something that was sad was I was watching the making of the original Snow White, and it was just sad, like, to see how far the company fell. Now,
Yeah. So yeah.
yeah,
All right. The next movie is
Black Bag. If I had a nickel for every 2025 movie directed by Steven Soderbergh, with David Koepp writing the script, who also wrote the original Jurassic Park and is returning for the new one, I'd have 2 nickels.
Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that happened twice, right?
Yeah, and exactly. But the other one being Presence. But this one is ultimately the superior one. Like, I didn't think much after seeing the trailer, but after seeing the good reception, I thought, why not? It's more. This film is more of a mental battle instead of an action film. Like, and it's engaging and well paced, and the cast certainly carry the movie, and it's well shot, and the soundtrack is great, and it even had some subtle humor mixed in. This film, it's another great original film that's worth checking out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And guess what? It underperformed again.
Seriously, people, why are you? If you're gonna keep complaining about this, seeing the stuff you're complaining about, we're not gonna be stuck with sequels, remakes, and stuff for the next 10 years.
Well, I paid for On Becoming a Guinea Fowl, so there is still hope.
Yeah, we're showing that we care about Hollywood surviving and movie theaters thriving.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone's to blame why we keep getting trashed, it's like pretty much everything in 2024 that fits in that criteria, you guys are the reason why.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But hey, at least Netflix knows when to put the money where their mouth is, because
The Electric State.
Oh my god, I heard this film was so bad.
Yeah.
I tried to get 20 minutes of it and I couldn't finish it at that point.
And apparently, I heard the graphic novel that this was actually pretty good. But the film kind of goes against the messaging of the graphic novel. See, the graphic novel is meant to be a critique of and show the consequences of people over relying too much on technology and machines. This film just says, now we should embrace technology and machines. And it's laughable to me, laughable when I hear the Russo brothers say, throw shade at Martin Scorsese, when Scorsese gave us Killers of the Flower Moon, and post-Endgame, the Russo brothers haven't given us that much good stuff. And the sad thing is this. We saw other directors outside the MCU pursue other stuff, like Ryan Coogler is still doing great stuff outside of the MCU. And I know his name. The director for Iron Man, who also played Happy, he's doing stuff outside of that too. So it's just... And this film, it's just boring. It's just cliched and just generic and hollow.
Yeah. Netflix, how much money did you spend on this?
It was a lot of money. Let me look up again.
Yeah. I'm honestly very worried for the next Avengers movie, knowing that they're gonna come back to direct that.
Yep. Because
it feels like ever since Endgame, they have slowly deteriorated for the worse.
Right.
Cherry Flop, the Gray Man was somehow somehow people actually liked that film, even though I fucking hated it.
It
One
made
of the
me watch
worst
Three
movies
Plane
of
Time Crisis
2022.
instead. This film's budget is $320 million. What?
That's another problem with Hollywood today.
Yeah, let me look up. Like, I've seen amazing films made with small budgets. Like, let me think.
Cop
Let me look up.
Godzilla -1.
Right. Jurassic Park budget, or I'm looking up. Jurassic Park cost less than the Electric State. Let me look up.
I'm sick of Hollywood trying to spend so much money on a movie and it ends up being dog crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, just imagine if Snow White costed 900 million to make.
Or $1
It
billion.
costs less than Avatar, and that film's effects
Yeah.
still look amazing.
I hate the economy today, but I will say this. If like one day they're going to go bankrupt if they keep overplaying budget.
Right. Like,
Yeah, especially with people like David Sleazebag doing tax write-offs constantly
Mhm.
with these films that costed a lot of
Mhm.
money.
So far,
I-
we've only seen it 2 actually done with
Sorry.
Batman and Scoop Holiday Haunt.
right.
Yeah. Hopefully, Ketchup Entertainment will save those as well.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
think there's any chance as they've actually done the tax write-off. Like, I think it's done.
Just, you know,
Right.
fuck this current generation of movies today. I
Okay.
hate this generation of filmmaking
Yep.
so much.
I hate it too.
Thank
So do
you.
I.
Hollywood, stop with the massive budgets. Exactly. You wonder why most movies nowadays flop at the box office.
They spend too much time on all this other junk.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, and my comment.
Your comment? Oh, let's see. The way Charles Bantiga Fantastic One hates independent movies is exactly how I feel with most mainstream movies. Wonder why I mostly go for indie darlings, A24 movies, and Shudder films. And speaking of A24, that leads us to the last film on so right now.
Death of a Unicorn.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
joke with this.
It-
This film interests me because it had Jenna Ortega, who I've been enjoying her in movies, and I really have to see Wednesday. But anyway, I like this movie. I mean, it had some issues. Like, let me see. Like, I mean, it was cool. Like the film, like it took obvious inspiration from the Alien movies and the Jurassic Park movies, even recreating the kill in its own way from the Lost World. And the film, like, it showed like the dark side of unicorns, but also explored their mythos. And of course, the cast was great, even if they followed archetypes, and you could tell, like, who was going to live and who was going to die. And well, the ending wasn't bad per se. It was a bit over the top. But overall, I mostly enjoyed this movie. Also, the gang kill a unicorn. That joke I did. Where I did the Always Sunny card.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw Alex's quote unquote rant on this movie.
Right.
Of
He
course,
just
of
had
course,
to
you'd
do
hate it.
24.
And speaking of Alex, he has got so much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
But-
He
But
even
what-
insulted A24 by saying that they're worse than Lionsgate and compared it to Norm of the North.
oh, screw off, Alex. Even if A24 isn't as perfect as they used to be,
Death of a
screw
Unicorn
off.
is not A24's best film, but to compare it to that, come on.
Have some, like, you wonder why movies today are honestly dog shit because of you, Alex. You're contributing, right?
Yeah.
Like, am I right? He's contributing to the
Yeah.
downfall of Hollywood's garbage.
Yeah,
And not to mention, he gave a good review to Snow White.
At
this
this
guy
point,
has no shame.
I'm certainly avoiding it. That's why I've mostly seen, like, again, look at my comment.
yeah. Go
Yeah,
out.
I'm certainly
Yeah.
not contributing to the downfall of Hollywood, all right?
Mhm.
Yeah, we need to make sure we need to vote. We actually need to vote with our wallets.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
And-
shit. Okay, let's
Exactly.
chill
And
beyond
just seeing a
comments.
movie can
Let's go
make,
back.
and just skipping a movie can make a difference. Like, may I remind you what happened with the Mummy 2017 and the Transformers Last Night and various other films?
Exactly, and they all flopped. To quote Jay Sherman, if the movie stinks, just don't go.
Yeah, and also here's the thing: if no one's forcing you to see these movies, like, so why are you watching subjugating yourself?
Exactly.
I mean, no, granted,
Let's
there are
look at
movies
Chill
like
Beyond's comment recently.
Yeah.
A24 is a saint.
I mean, the best, like the best movies that Lionsgate distributed were Early Man and the 2017 MLP movie and Shaun the Sheep, but those were not even made by them.
Yeah.
Hell,
that,
they didn't even make Norm of the North.
Yeah. So in other words, that's all of the movies that we actually saw because that came out in these 2 months, and this was a perfect little comeback as well as a bit of a discussion on the current state of Hollywood because we just talked about pretty much, current state of Hollywood is shit. And that's all we got for this comeback podcast. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll try to keep a more consistent schedule. So yeah.
Oh, come on, not you again. I am Fury of the Film Fan. Get out, Rex! I call you out.
The power of Christ compels you.
And then lasers come out and blasts Fury.
So yeah, so that's pretty much everything. It's been 2 hours and 11 minutes. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and hope to see you again soon for the April reviews.
Yep.
Oh boy, and I'll try to get better with my reviews.
Yep.
And yes, I had a lot of fun here. It was great to be back.
Yep.
And movie cartoon fanatic, I hope that one day you'll be able to join my live streams again.
Sure, maybe. All right. Anyways, see you later, dudes. Bye bye.
See you later.
See ya.
All right.